Ed Sheeran breaks down in tears as he performs emotional song about daughter Lyra at music icon Michael Gudinski's state funeral in Melbourne. Ed Sheeran broke down in tears as he performed a song about his daughter Lyra at music icon Michael Gudinski's state funeral in Melbourne on Wednesday. The British singer, 30, became visibly emotional as he sang new song Visiting Hours at the Rod Laver Arena, stopping, before saying sorry and returning to the microphone. The A-Team hitmaker told the audience before his set, "I never get this nervous, I'm really FG nervous. So apologies if I mess up the lyrics or anything." The star revealed he had penned the song in quarantine. He said, "So I'm extremely grateful to be here. I know it's a difficult thing to get into this country and I don't take it for granted for all the hard work getting me here, and I really just appreciated the opportunity to get here. In lockdown I was able to have a guitar for quarantine. I always find the best way to process stuff is to write songs, be it good news, bad news, and here's a song I finished last week." Visiting Hours is said to be about Ed's late grandfather Bill, who died in 2013, and asking for advice on raising his and wife Cherry Seaborn's baby girl Lyra, who was born in August. Ed sang, "I wish that heaven had visiting hours. So I could just show and bring the news that she's getting older. And I wish that you'd met her. I wish that you'd met her. The things that she'd learn from me, I got them all from you. I wish that heaven had visiting hours. So I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I haven't a clue how I'd raise them. What would you do, 'cause you always do what's right. We just took a while until our worries disappeared. I'd tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create." Earlier on, Ed was overcome with emotion as he performed at the star-studded farewell, after he flew into Australia and quarantined in Byron Bay earlier this month. The star performed a moving acoustic rendition of We Were Younger Then, before stopping to wipe tears from his eyes. Ed also sat front row at the memorial alongside Gudinski's grieving family, who were seen crying during the emotional ceremony. He recounted meeting Gudinski for the first time in Melbourne, and said he appeared very proper at first. Everywhere he went, he just lit up the room and then F-ked off, he joked, after calling him a tornado and a barrel of laughs. Ed then performed his early hits, The A-Team, which he said was one of Gudinski's favorites from his stellar repertoire. He said he was grateful to have been given the opportunity to say goodbye to Gudinski in person amid the coronavirus pandemic. "Michael was a tornado of joy," The Shape of You singer wrote after learning of Gudinski's death. "You would know he arrived in the building just by hearing the chaotic bark of his, and you could feel the room get excited about the arrival of his presence. He was such a force, and would make everyone feel like they were the most important person to him." As well as live performances, the memorial included tributes and speeches celebrating Gudinski's significant contribution to the Australian and international music industry and the state of Victoria. Michael's passion for music was legendary, and his advocacy for artists established him as a much-loved, respected, and admired leader in the industry in Australia and overseas, read the event's webpage. He founded the Mushroom Group in 1972 at just 20 years old, which flourished into Australia's largest independent entertainment group covering touring, record labels, publishing, merchandising, booking agencies, film and television production and creative services. Some of Australia's most iconic albums have been released under one of his Mushroom Group record labels. The statement continued, his touring company Frontier Touring is Australia's leading promoter, touring the biggest names in global music since its inception in 1979. A larger-than-life figure, Michael was widely respected for his unwavering passion for all music, in particular Australian music. Shortly after news broke about Gudinski's death, a variety of stars, including Kylie and Danny Minogue, Bruce Springsteen, Russell Crowe and Jimmy Barnes, paid touching tribute to him. During last year's COVID-19 lockdown, Gudinski recruited the likes of Jimmy Barnes and Crowded House to perform at the Music from the Home Front television concert, organizing the event in just 9 days. he was arguably one of the most powerful and influential figures in the music industry during his illustrious career. After forming Mushroom Records in 1972, the label went on to work with artists such as Madonna, ABBA, Jason Donovan, and Nelly Furtado. Gudinski also enjoyed international success with artists such as Peter Andre and Garbage, and promoted tours for major acts worldwide. Most recently, Frontier Touring promoted Elton John's epic farewell tour in 2020. In June 2006, Gudinski was awarded the Member of the Order of Australia Medal, AM, for his service to the entertainment industry through his work in promoting Australian recording artists. In 2009, he played a major role in organising the Sound Relief benefit concerts, which raised millions for victims of the Victorian bushfires and Queensland floods. In 2012, Gudinski was honoured by the City of Melbourne as Melburnian of the Year. Gudinski also helped promote Ed Sheeran's record-breaking Australasian tour in 2018, which saw more than 1 million tickets sold. With Frontier's help, Ed shattered the record set by Dire Straits 32 years earlier, when they sold 950,000 tickets on one tour of Australia and New Zealand in 1986.